of Guam General Manager Joanne Brown has expressed concerns with a Civil Service Commission order that requires the agency to provide all documents that have been turned over to federal and local law enforcement authorities relative to ongoing probes into allegations of corruption and fraud. The documents were ordered relative to the ongoing appeals of 7 Port Authority workers who were terminated for their role in an alleged conspiracy to defraud the government out of close to $100,000 and then allegedly trying to cover it up. Former Port Marketing Administrator Bernadette Minow, Corporate Services Manager Vivian Leon, Controller Jose Guevara, Personnel Specialist Francis Ariola, Personnel Services Administrator Francine Rocho, Program Coordinator Josette Javalosa, and Planner Work Coordinator Leonora Leon Guerrero have all denied any wrongdoing. The terminations all stem from Minow's alleged slip and fall incident in the port bathroom back in September of 2011. As reported, Minow refused medical treatment at the hospital at the time of the incident. More than 9 months later, she asked to see Dr. Stephen Hayashida, who was referred to in documents as the port surgeon. Hayashida was already on contract at GMH for $360,000 a year and recommended Minow go off-island to Hawaii, where he would perform back surgery at a price tag of more than $66,000, not including travel and per diem costs. In an April 5th letter, Brown sent another letter to the AG's office expressing concern that documents suggest that Minow committed theft of medical services at the Guam Memorial Hospital under the guise of fraudulent claims. Minow, through her attorney, Curtis Vandeveld, has said the termination was politically motivated and that the port has violated her privacy rights by releasing personal information regarding another medical condition. It's this pre-existing condition that the port is now taking issue with, as they received information that a few days before the alleged slip and fall, Minow allegedly underwent testing on her back. However, the port was not made aware of her pre-existing condition. Additionally, there are concerns that there's no evidence from any doctor that clearly states her scheduled back surgery recommended by Hayashida was a direct result of her work injury nearly a year before. Management and the port's legal counsel have been unsuccessful in getting any information about an injury Minow had prior to her alleged slip and fall at the port. But apparently Minow's workers' compensation claim isn't the only one raising red flags at the Port Authority. In fact, according to documents filed with the CSC, Vivian Leon is also accused of committing theft of medical services at GMH under the guise of fraudulent claims. Concerns have been raised that the port had to foot the bill for the alleged bogus claims. According to documents filed with the Civil Service Commission, Leon filed a workers' compensation claim back in July of 2002, alleging that she'd been injured at the office. Documents state that a shelf fell on Leon, resulting in a bump to her head and causing headaches. The workers' compensation form indicates that she was treated for the injury at the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic, not the Guam Memorial Hospital, which is required by law. But 3 years later, Leon had the Port Authority pay $10,000 for surgery to be performed on Guam by Dr. Hayashida to remove a lump on her forehead that she says was a result of a shelf falling on her head 3 years before. Leon also made a workers' compensation claim again in August of last year when she started getting headaches again and said it was related to work stress. Port management, in an earlier letter to the AG's office this month, expressed concerns that Leon had the hospital bill sent to the Department of Labor with the intention of having the port pay the bill, although no certification has been made that her injury was in fact work-related. But Brown believes there have been attempts to make changes to Leon's workers' compensation records at the port. In a letter to the AG's office on Monday, Brown presented what she believes is additional evidence of what management believes is ongoing criminal activity at the port. The letter includes statements from other port workers who claim that Leon's sister, Pia Castro, who is also an administrative assistant at the port, allegedly tried to access her sister's workers' compensation file. Those particular files, in light of the ongoing investigation into similar matters, are currently under lock and key, with only limited access by certain individuals at the port. Now, Brown says Castro allegedly asked to look into another port worker's file to ensure information on the form was filled out correctly. She then also allegedly asked to see the same document in her sister's file. Access was not granted and the information was provided to port management. Brown wrote, quote, "It deeply concerns me that Leon's sister, who still works at the port, attempted to covertly access Leon's file without any valid basis for doing so. Now that Leon has been tipped off that management discovered her own incriminating documents from last August, her sister is trying to stealthily access Leon's file, which is now part of an ongoing investigation." The GM has asked for another meeting with the AG's office to discuss further evidence that she believes of alleged ongoing criminal activity. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Mindy Egan.